Well, Matt, tough loss in midweek. You know, it was a game that was open for the majority of it. You know, without dwelling how do you feel, how do the lads feel after that game?
I think we all feel the same, really. I think probably it's the same as the fans feel a little bit, in that we're probably frustrated, but we're incredibly excited about how we played within the game, because it's easy to become a little bit outcome based at times and that we didn't get the result. But when you look at what we went there and did, and in Neil Ardley's own words, he said no team has come here and done what you've done to us. Tactically, you couldn't deal with what we were doing in the overloads from the outside centre halves, and I'm frustrated we didn't get what we deserved, but I'm incredibly pleased with the performance, and I'm excited. When you watch it, I'll be amazed if anyone wasn't excited about the team we're evolving into. And we watched the game back today, and within the game we were so good, and even when they went down to 10 men, it kind of changed the game a little bit, but after they went down to 10 men, we had 5 clear chances. And it's easy, I'll be honest, I kind of half forgot about it within the game. 2 minutes after they went down to 10 men, Josh has a header in the 6-yard box, which he's taken all season, them chances. Then I think 4 or 5 minutes after that, Cesa's got down the right side, he's squaring it across the box, and it's a tap in for Josh, if it probably that far past the defender, and it's a tap in. And then we changed the shape to 3-4-3, we brought Ira on for Charlesy. And the shape actually worked, because 3 or 4 minutes later, Claydon gets down the side, we pinned their fullbacks back with our front three. Claydon gets in down the side, down the left. And again, he's squaring it, and we're about that far away from Ira just tapping it in. And obviously Ira gets the plaudits, we get the plaudits for changing the shape, and Claydon gets the plaudits, but what we did within the day worked, but what we didn't do well enough was the key moments within games. Like, you're that far away from a tap-in, going 2-1 up, and probably going and killing the game off and winning 4-1. So that's what I say, you can't become outcome-based in what happened on the day. We're getting in unbelievable positions within games, but we're not being clinical enough in the moments. But it's hard to be harsh on the lads, because we're not paying the money. We're not going and paying £300,000 for Ollie Palmer to just go and finish it and the game's dead. So we've got young lads like Claydon. He's got into an unbelievable position. He's that far away from just put it on the money, and it's not quite right. We didn't execute it right, but he's a young lad from Charlton. He's here to learn and get better, and the more these lads are in these positions, the more we will become clinical. But what we have to do as a football club is appreciate where we are. We're getting into these positions against the top teams, not the bottom teams. These are the top teams now. We're beating a lot of the teams around us, and we're giving ourselves and going to Solihull's and Wrexham's and giving ourselves opportunities to win these games. Now, it will take time to get that clinicalness into the group, because we've got a really good young group that needs to be in an environment where they can make mistakes, learn and get better. And that might take 6 months or a year or whatever, but the fact we're in these positions has to be appreciated. And if I'm being honest, I'd be amazed if anyone that watched the game didn't come away excited. Frustrated, rightly so, because we should have got something out of the game. But incredibly excited about where we're going. And the one thing I do want to say is about the fans, because they probably felt the same as we did on the day, frustrated that we didn't get something from the game. But to clap us off at the end, don't ever underestimate how big an impact that has on the players, on us as a management team, and on everybody, because it's easy to let your frustrations get the better of you, but I think they appreciate how good we were on the day, and that will have a major impact going into Saturday, because it picked me up. I'll be honest, I was a little bit despondent after the game, and I think we all were. And that kind of gave me a little bit of lift of going, they appreciated it. Let's go again. Let's go and do it again Saturday against Torquay. And if we take our chances within the game, we'll win the game. We did it at Barnet. We were clinical at Barnet. We were really good at Barnet. But we actually played better against Solihull within the game. But we were clinical against Barnet. And that's the moments that decides games. But we can't be too critical of our lads, because we don't pay the money. We don't go and get the players from League One to decide the game for you. So we're in a good place. I'm actually really excited. I think we're on the cusp of something really good. You can see the team evolving, but the fact we're beating teams around us and then going to the top teams shows how far we've come, because last season we were embarrassed at times. We were embarrassed where we were so far out of our depth. We were frustrated because we just couldn't compete. We're frustrated now because we're so close to being a really good team within this division. And realistically, if we turn the last 2 results into wins, that's like title winning form. You've gone and beaten Yeovil, Barnet, Wrexham, and then Solihull. Now, we're not at that stage as a football club to demand that, but the fact we're giving ourselves opportunities means that we're in a really good position.
And, you know, we've touched on it before, you touched on it then, performance-wise, there's not been, to my mind, too many performances this season where we've been absolutely outclassed. 1 or 2 Stockport, but, you know, like you say, they've got the players where they're going paying money for it. Do you feel that the lads are going to be excited to put another performance in this weekend against a team like Torquay, who, you know, they're in a good bit of form? They're, you know, 8 points out of the last 15. They're unbeaten in 4. Do you feel that the lads are going to be, you know, sort of grip between the teeth and, like you say, use the fans
100%.
and everything? The reaction from Tuesday to push on this Saturday.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of where we are now as a football club. We go into every single game. You think this game last season, you're going to go in covering up your eyes, thinking it could get embarrassing because Torquay are a proper team. They probably should have gone up last season, and we're in that place now where we're excited going into games, and I think fans can be excited going into games knowing that we're going to give ourselves a winning opportunity within the game. If we do the right things, listen, it will always come down to the quality in both boxes. But like I say, we can't demand too much. We can nurture and hope that we take the chances like we did at Barnet and we did it against Yeovil. But I have full faith that the lads will go and give themselves a winning opportunity. And I think they're excited about what's happening. They all want to be in the team. They're seeing a team evolving and becoming a real good attacking threat. And that's because of the structure we've had in place. This started probably 4 games at the back end of last season where we went 3-5-2. We knew the lads we were keeping, and we started to put the structure in place. And now we're adding little bits of quality. You're starting to see the structure pay dividends. But without the structure, adding the quality won't work because they'll just come into a mess that just you won't get the overloads and you won't get all of this. So that's why the way we play over probably the last 3 seasons has been so vital to getting to this point, and we have to stick to it. And when we keep adding the quality and we keep nurturing the lads, we'll keep getting better and better.
And, you know, how do you see the game going this Saturday? You know, it's a lot of teams, managers, fans have all commented on how Wilson have been playing. You know, it's fantastic football, and, you know, Torquay, again, another quality side. How do you see the game going this Saturday?
I'll be honest, they like to play either 3-5-2 or like a 4-3-3 or a 4-5-1. If they play like a 4-5-1, they like combination play with their fullbacks and wingers. That's kind of how Gary Johnson's teams have played over the years. If they're 3-5-2, they'll probably go a little bit more direct off of right and have Lemonade Evans off of him, which will kind of match our shape. So it's kind of you against your man. But they're just a very, very good National League team. They started slowly this season, but you can see they're picking up now, which was kind of inevitable for a team like Torquay. But it's easy to forget they probably should have gone up last season. They had 2 goals disallowed, which should have been goals in the final. They went out on penalties, and you're up against a proper team again. So that's where I say it's so important, and we need to appreciate where we are as a football club, that we can go into these games and genuinely think we're going to win them. Because we do, as a group, we do. As a management team, as players, we all do now. So they're exciting games. It will be tough, and it will be decided in both boxes. Like, say, how will the game go? There'll probably be moments within the games. If they take their chances and we don't, they win. If we take our chances and they don't, we'll win the game.
And squad-wise, how's it looking going into the game?
Yeah, it's looking healthy. I think probably only Andrew is out at the moment. I might have forgotten someone, but even Charlesy the other day, he got through, I think, 75, 80 minutes. We had to bring him off because he's had COVID and things. So it's looking like a healthy squad. Ira's back as well. Nick, obviously, we'll assess today in training to see if he comes through it. Obviously, Cookie's back from the suspension. And that's what people don't appreciate is, well, I think people do, but that's why decisions like Wrexham annoy me, because not only is it contributed to us losing that game, you then lose Cookie the other day, and it's no coincidence we conceded from a set piece, and he's huge within that. And even Nick, he's probably our best headerer of the ball. Cookie's our biggest, but Nick's probably the best in the air. So you know you're a little bit vulnerable within the Solihull game, and he should never have got sent off against Wrexham, and it ends up kind of costing you 2 results in a way, because they scored from a set piece. And that's why, if you're not clinical, teams can sucker punch you, and that's what they did the other day. They created 1 chance after they went down to 10 men. We created 5. We didn't take our 5. They took their 1, and that's how games are decided.
And finally, you know, the announcements come out about it's going to be behind closed doors. Do you feel that could have a factor in the game, both for us and against us? You know, we won't have, unfortunately, our own home fans there, but as well, Torquay won't have their fans cheering them on. Yeah. Do you think that's going to affect the game?
I think it will. I think it'll affect the whole buzz around the place. I think you'll probably have a slow start to the game where the tempo probably isn't good. But listen, the only thing I'd say is both teams are used to doing it. We did it a lot last season, and I think it will affect us because fans are huge to what we do, and the buzz around the place and the tempo within the game. But listen, as footballers, you just got to block that out. And once you go out on a pitch, I'm a firm believer that you're not really thinking about the fans. I think at times, in moments within games, fans can help you and push you on. But as a whole, if we don't win the game, it's not going to be down to the fact we didn't have the fans there. We'd love to have the fans there, and it's devastating. That's why I said how the impact they had at the end of the game the other day is huge. But I don't think that's going to be a defining factor within the game. And I think if we've lost the game, it's down to more than the fact that we didn't have our fans there. And the same for them. If they don't win it, it won't be the fact that they didn't have the fans there. Hopefully, it'll be from our good play and what we've done.
Well, brilliant. Cheers, Matt, and
Cheers.
good luck for the weekend.
Top man,
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.